We can say, we shouldn't hate, but if we have one emotion, which is an extreme emotion, which is love, best believe somewhere in our heart there's hate and there's true disdain for people. There is vitriol, there is venom out there. And we see it in the world today. In the current headlines, there is venom. Take it from me. In order to hate, you got to love something. In order to hate, you got to be betrayed. But how can you not be betrayed if you didn't love at one point, right? How can you not be upset if you don't love so hard? So you got to take the good with the bad, and you got to embrace those things and allow yourself time to explore those emotions and how strong those emotions are. Funny thing about it is that for some people, it's easy to be indifferent, but I think it's because they're almost afraid to not explore those extremes of love and hate, because those two things come together. Those are the yin and the yang. And guess what? We love love, right? But love takes a lot of investment. And what happens when we as human beings invest into something? We want dividends. We want a result. We want something to benefit. We want a product. And when we don't get that product, we start calling customer service. We start demanding management. We start, getting on our high horse, and we start getting on our soapbox. So we turn into Karens. And it's like, hey, I gave you this. Where's my return on investment? And you know what? Hate seems so much easier, because if you're not going to give me what I deserve, then I'm going to pay you back and give you that receipt. So I think sometimes we can spin our own wheels. A lot of the times we spin our own wheels because we love so hard. And then when we don't get it back, or we don't get what we deserve, or even if we're just not loved in general, then we come back with the hate. The hate balances things out. The hate is that justness, that justice that this thing or this entity deserves, because they didn't give me what I think I believed in. And that's not fair. And it's not fair to you, because in the long run, it really isn't going to affect somebody else, right? If your emotions was going to affect somebody else, they would have changed a long time ago before you even got to that boiling point, right? But it does affect you because of the yo-yo effect, right? We go up and down and up and down and up and down. Nobody wants to live the life of a yo-yo. You're going to get your spikes in blood pressure. You're going to be taking pills. You're going to be emotionally destroyed. You're going to lose hair. It's going to turn gray. It's going to get you real upset and on the edge, and you're not going to be able to enjoy life or appreciate the time that you have in life. And that time to love and that time to hate, remember that they're one and the same, right? So anybody that is experiencing extreme love right now had to experience some extreme hate. And those that are experiencing extreme hate right now are missing that love that they once had. So a lot of the times we have to give what those people are calling out for. We have to fill that hole with whatever that they're putting out. We have to neutralize those emotions, right? So when you see that, don't run from it, run towards it. I know that sounds stupid, right? For somebody that has common sense, why would I want to approach somebody that has so much hate for me? God, Jesus says, turn the other cheek, right? Turn the other cheek, right? And what that means is that you are giving somebody what they're desperately reaching out and calling out for. And we just have to see it and recognize it and not fight fire with fire, right? Nobody's ever put out a fire with gasoline, right? No one has ever put out flames with more flames, right? Get what I'm saying? You don't add to problems. They're going to create more problems, right? You have to subtract. If you want to get back to zero, and if you want to get back to even, we have to subtract if there's being addition. You have to neutralize those things, right? For our chemists, you got positive ions, you need negative ions, right, to become neutral, right? We don't live in a life where everybody has a neutral charge, right? We got protons, we got electrons, And funny thing about it, when those things coexist, we're either going to attract or we're going to repel. Right? We want to understand those powerful emotions, even time for war and time for peace. Those powerful emotions had to come from somewhere, because life isn't always the same.